Welcome to Burning Bright, a weekly podcast presenting poetry and prose from Passager. It's fall. In most of the country, the temperatures are dropping, and in the parts of the country with deciduous trees, so are the leaves. One of my favorite parts of fall is going to the farmer's market every week and buying whichever apples we can't find in the grocery. My favorites are Stayman Winesaps and, of course, Jonathan's. Here's Jean Connor's poem, Jonathan Apples, Macoons, and More. The valor of red barns cannot hold, nor that of covered bridges, nor the flame of sugar maples, nor warmth of the October sun. To see these last things and to see ourselves seeing them, we drive into the country when the foliage in Lincoln Gap says, "Come." For a short afternoon, we equate the sum of the world with pumpkins, purple asters, baskets of apples, honey, sumac, and scarlet. But can we be forgiven for this false equation? Because on rare days in October, the world, viewed from Vermont, really is round with pumpkins, worthy of bees, their honeycomb, and sweet with the fragrance of wood smoke, a world acquainted with cider, blessed with the willingness of apples, wise with the inerrancy of mountains. Jonathan Apples, Macoons, and More. Jean Connor from her book, and the first book Passager ever published, A Cartography of Peace. Nancy Naomi Carlson said that the dog in her poem Landscape with Doghouse is a metaphor for what we cannot keep from slipping away. If that isn't an autumnal concept, I don't know what is. Though the gate is latched and her tracks cannot be seen in the cover of leaves, she knows about leaving. Squirrels that vanish near bases of elms, groundhogs that duck into holes, children who trade too early the mosaic of woods and sky for city life. Whether silent as a deer she jumped the fence in a single bound, who can say? The leaves are flinging themselves at the ground, green, gold, and hushed. For all I know, she's had one eye on the rail for days, even years, something firing inside her chest. Short bursts of a chainsaw carry across the creek. Geese drone overhead. She will not hear me calling. Maybe it's true the heart has reasons that reason cannot know. I can't be sure. And perhaps the sun floods orange-red over the trees for no reason at all, then sinks below the horizon for emphasis. From Passager's 2014 Poetry Contest issue, Nancy Naomi Carlson's Landscape with Doghouse. Nancy said she's a dog lover, poet, and translator. She also said, no dogs were harmed in the writing of this poem. Back to Jean Connor, In the Fields. Perhaps I should mention the cows, their black sides splotched with white, though by now I've had enough of them. Their bellowing, their silences, their standing in fields, facing this way and that. As November nears, is there something here that wills to unseat us? The fields empty except for the cows, except for our questions. Why do cows bellow? Why do they stop? And why do we, who have choices to make, stand in these fields, facing this way and that? Jean Connor's poem In the Fields, also from her book, A Cartography of Peace. Emily Hayes Whittle said, "Anxiety in Autumn was written on Halloween, when many, including myself, believe the veil between the two worlds is at its thinnest. It is an attempt to express the idea that something fearful, though not known, is at hand." I have grown tired of mirrors, changing reflections in the glass. Shadows follow me around, grow larger, suddenly disappear. Shades play tricks about the room. Dim lights from shards of chandeliers scintillate in the darkening air. Even in the cold gray hour of dawn nothing is revealed. The trees, the grass, the fountain there that I gaze upon grow fuzzy, blur all into one. I fear that if I were to pick the red and gold chrysanthemums burning in the rising sun, my fingers would ignite and set my hands on fire. Anxiety in Autumn, Emily Hayes Whittle, from Passager's 2011 Poetry Contest issue. We began with a poem about apples. We'll end with another. Of course it's not just about apples. Apple Spirits by Fran Markover. Pound Sweet, Ginger Gold, Keepsake, Cameo, heritage tastes at the farm stand remind me of our orchard in the Catskills. Wine saps, misshapen heirlooms for the deer who found them mornings. I'd gather the fallen treasures, present them to grandmother. She held each one, red soft spots and bruises, as if it were a reckoning for the Book of Blossoms. This one's right for Mr. Needleman's strudel. These two, take away the worms, are perfect for Papa's kugel. And the crab apples, winter keepers for cider. Grandma pared, sliced, cored in her flowery kitchen, made up tales of banished princesses who braved their way home, stories of peasants carving hopes into apple skins, words like children or riches engraved into fragrant flesh. Nights after dessert, Grandpa strummed his mandolin, eyes closed, trusting the strings to tremble with remembrance. He sang Hushaby, my little bird, Lulinka, mein Fegele. Perhaps the melody was lament for his mother, unable to take flight, or for me leaving our family nest for school. As we bowed in a circle, lit candles, Grandma's hands beckoned the light toward her face, her heart. She whispered into flame, Yitzhak, Levi, Clara, Ruchel. When someone utters a name, she promised, prayer rises, blessings tumble down, bear fruit. Fran Markover, Apple Spirits, from her book Grandfather's Mandolin. You can buy Fran's book or Jean Connor's A Cartography of Peace, or subscribe to and learn more about Passager and its commitment to writers over 50 at PassagerBooks.com. Passager offers a 25% discount on the books and journal issues featured here on Burning Bright. Visit our website to see what's on sale this week. For Kendra, Mary, Christine, Roseanne, and the rest of the Passager staff, I'm John Shore.